There's a difference between being desired and being loved that transcends this lifetime and echoes through all your soul's incarnations. How many times have you wondered if that person who awakens so many feelings in you truly sees you as a precious soul, or if they're merely captivated by your energy, your body, the romantic fantasy they've built around the two of you? This question doesn't stem solely from present insecurities. It emerges from the depths of an ancestral wisdom your soul carries, whispering truths you haven't yet learned to fully hear. Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, revealed in his psychic readings that every romantic encounter in our lives carries echoes of past encounters, sacred contracts made before we were even born, and lessons our souls need to learn to evolve spiritually. When you feel that instant connection with someone, when there's inexplicable chemistry, when it feels like you've known each other for ages, it's not coincidence, it's recognition. Your souls have danced together in other lives, loved, hurt, and made promises that transcend linear time. But herein lies the great test your soul has come to experience in this incarnation, distinguishing between true love that nourishes your spiritual essence and desire that consumes only the temporary personality. According to Cayce's teachings, our souls choose certain experiences not by chance, but because they need to learn to recognize authentic love, the kind that sees beyond the physical form, beyond the ego, beyond the masks we wear to navigate this material world. Observe the signs the universe places before you as clues on a spiritual map. When someone truly loves you, they don't just desire you. There's a quality of presence that transcends the physical. This person listens not only with their ears but with their soul. They sense when you're sad, even when you smile, feel your energy before you even speak, and offer comfort that goes beyond words. It's as if they have direct access to your heart through an invisible channel connecting souls that already recognize each other. Cayce spoke of karmic patterns that repeat life after life until they are fully understood and transcended. Perhaps you've experienced being merely desired in other incarnations, and your soul chose this life to finally learn the difference, to finally attract someone who sees you in your sacred totality. Or perhaps you're the soul that needs to learn not to settle for crumbs of attention disguised as love, that needs to develop the spiritual discernment to recognize when you're being valued for who you truly are, not just what you represent in someone else's fantasy. Pay attention to how this person speaks about you when you're not present. True love honors your absence as much as it celebrates your presence. Someone who truly loves you can't speak of you without their eyes shining with a special light, without their voice carrying an almost sacred reverence. This person shares your deepest qualities with others, not just your physical beauty or material achievements, but your kindness, your wisdom, your unique way of seeing the world. When you're merely desired, there's a quality of urgency that permeates the relationship. It's as if this person is always trying to possess something, capture something, consume something within you. There's a hunger that never satisfies, a constant need for physical reaffirmation, a rush to achieve intimacy without first building the bridge of genuine trust. Cayce taught that desire without love is like fire without wood. It burns intensely for a moment, but soon extinguishes, leaving only ashes where a garden could have flourished. True love, on the other hand, grows like a sacred plant. It's not in a hurry because it recognizes eternity. This person wants to know your dreams, your fears, your most secret hopes. They're genuinely interested in your spiritual journey, the books that touch your soul, the experiences that shaped who you are today. There's a respectful curiosity about your inner world, a willingness to understand not only what you do, but why you do it, what you feel, how you think. In Cayce's readings, the concept of soulmates frequently arose, not just a romantic soulmate, but several souls who travel together through different incarnations, supporting each other in spiritual growth. Sometimes, one of these souls appears in your life disguised as a great love, but is actually here to teach you about your own patterns, your own wounds that need healing. Recognizing this difference is part of the test. Notice how you feel after spending time with this person. True love leaves you energized, inspired, more connected with your own divine essence. You feel seen, understood, accepted in your totality, with your lights and your shadows. When someone merely desires, even if the moments together are intense and pleasurable, there's always a subtle feeling of emptiness afterward, as if something important is missing, as if you've given more than you've received energetically. The person who truly loves you cares about your spiritual, emotional, and mental well-being, not just your availability to fulfill their needs. They encourage you to grow, even if it means you might change in ways they can't predict. There's a generosity in true love that trusts the process of life, that doesn't try to control or limit, but celebrates your constant evolution. Love versus lust, recognizing the difference seen. A voiceover, possibly from a self-help video or podcast. Edgar Cayce talked about cellular memory, memories our soul carries from past experiences that influence our present relationships. Sometimes, you might feel an uncanny familiarity with someone, a sense that you've shared intimate moments together, even if you've only just met. This soul memory can create an illusion of deep love when it's really just karmic recognition. The difference lies in observing whether this connection is being used to heal old wounds or to repeat old destructive patterns. The quality of communication reveals a lot about the nature of the feeling. When someone truly loves you, conversations flow on multiple levels. You can talk about everyday, mundane things, but also delve into profound discussions about the meaning of life, dreams, spirituality. There's an intellectual and emotional intimacy that complements the physical attraction. This person is genuinely interested in your opinions, values, and perspectives, even when they differ from their own. Desire without love, on the other hand, tends to keep conversations superficial or quickly steer them toward topics that fuel romantic or sexual fantasy. There's an impatience with deeper aspects of your personality that don't align with the idealized image this person has created of you. It's as if they're in love with an edited version of who you are, not your complete and complex reality. Pay attention to how this person reacts when you express genuine vulnerability. True love embraces your tears, your fears, your insecurities with compassion and presence. This person doesn't try to fix you quickly to feel more comfortable, but offers a safe space where you can be completely human. There's an emotional maturity that recognizes that shared vulnerability creates real intimacy, not just physical intimacy. When you're only desired, your vulnerability might be seen as inconvenient, something that interferes with the perfect fantasy. This person might try to minimize your feelings, quickly change the subject, or even use your insecurities against you during conflicts. Desire without love has no patience for human emotional complexity because it's focused on satisfying its own needs, not on truly knowing and accepting who you are. Edgar Cayce taught that each soul comes to this earth with a specific mission, unique lessons to learn, and special gifts to share with the world. The person who truly loves you recognizes and honors your spiritual mission, even if they don't fully understand all aspects of it. There's a deep respect for your individual path, a willingness to support your dreams and aspirations, even when they require sacrifices or changes in the relationship dynamic. If you're only desired, your dreams and ambitions might be seen as threats to the fantasy this person has built about the two of you. There's a tendency to want to mold you according to limited expectations, to discourage growth that might make you too different from the version of you they feel comfortable with. It's a conditional love that says, I love you as long as you stay exactly how I need you to be. And here, dear soul listening to me, I want to pause to share something important. If these words are resonating deeply in your heart, if you're recognizing patterns in your own life, if you're feeling that you've finally found someone who understands the complexities of love and soul, I invite you to join this journey of self-discovery with us. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because each video we share here is like a personal letter to your soul, revealing more layers of this ancestral wisdom that Edgar Cayce left us. When you subscribe, you're not just following a channel, you're joining a community of awakened souls who, like you, seek to understand the deepest mysteries of love, purpose, and spiritual healing. And believe me, there are many more powerful revelations coming that will completely transform your perspective on relationships and life purpose. Continuing our journey of understanding, Also observe how this person handles your successes and accomplishments. True love genuinely celebrates your victories, not just those that somehow also benefit the relationship. There's pure joy in seeing you shine, grow, achieve your goals. This person feels proud to be by your side, not possessive or threatened by your light. When you're only desired, your successes might generate subtle competition, disguised jealousy, or attempts to diminish your accomplishments to maintain the power balance in the relationship. It's as if your light overshadows the fantasy of control this person maintains, and they need to bring you down to feel secure again. Edgar Cayce spoke about the importance of energetic harmony between two people. When there's true love, you energize each other. Your presences complement each other naturally, creating an energetic field where both can flourish. There's a subtle synchronicity. You might think of the same things at the same time, sense when the other needs support even from a distance, or have insights into situations affecting both of you. Desire without love, while it might create moments of high intensity, usually results in an energetic imbalance. One person is always giving more, investing more, adapting more. There's a chase and run dynamic that can be exciting at first, but eventually exhausts the soul that's always trying to reach something that remains eternally out of reach. Pay special attention to how this person treats other important people in your life. True love recognizes that you don't exist in a vacuum. You have family, friends, colleagues, a network of relationships that are part of who you are. This person makes a genuine effort to get to know and respect the people you love, even if they don't have a natural affinity with all of them. When you're only desired, there's a tendency to view other relationships as competition for attention and energy. This person might subtly try to isolate you, criticize your friends, create conflict with your family, or make you feel guilty for investing time in other important connections. It's a form of control disguised as exclusive love. How you handle conflict also reveals a lot about the nature of the feeling. In true love, disagreements are seen as opportunities for deeper understanding. There's a genuine willingness to hear your perspective, to find solutions that honor both needs, to grow through friction instead of simply winning the argument. When there's only desire disguised as love, conflicts tend to become power struggles. This person might use manipulative tactics like emotional blackmail, comparisons to other people, or veiled threats of abandonment to force you to concede. There's no real interest in understanding your point of view if it conflicts with what they want to hear. Experts on relationships often say that we choose experiences to learn about unconditional love. Sometimes, this means experiencing conditional love to recognize the difference. Sometimes, it means attracting people who intensely desire us so we can develop spiritual discernment and not confuse intensity with depth. Observe how you behave when you're with this person. True love allows you to be authentic effortlessly. You don't feel the need to perform, to hide aspects of your personality, to always be perfect or always available. There's a natural freedom to express the full spectrum of who you are. Your joys, sorrows, humor, seriousness, strength, vulnerability. When you're only desired, you might notice you're constantly trying to maintain a certain image, meet specific expectations, or mold your personality to please. It's exhausting because you're essentially playing a character instead of simply being yourself. The quality of silence between you also speaks volumes. In true love, silence is comfortable, nurturing, full of mindful presence. You can simply be together without needing to fill every moment with words or activities. There's a deep intimacy in sharing energetic space without an agenda. When there's only desire, silence can quickly become uncomfortable because there isn't enough substance to sustain the connection without constant stimulation. This person might always need to be doing something, saying something, or directing the interaction into more familiar and controlled territories. Relationship experts talk about the concept of reading someone's soul, the ability to perceive someone's spiritual essence beyond their superficial personality. The person who truly loves you has this natural ability with you. They sense when you're pretending to be okay, recognize when you need space even if you don't ask directly, and offer exactly the kind of support your soul needs in the moment. Desire without love remains on the surface of interactions. This person might know your habits, your preferences, even some of your stories, but they can't access the deeper level where your true needs, fears, and spiritual aspirations reside. Also observe how this person talks about the future. True love doesn't make grand, empty promises, but demonstrates, through consistent actions, that they're committed to long-term growth together. There are realistic plans that include you in meaningful ways, not just as an accessory in their dreams. When you're only desired, the future might be painted in romantic colors, but it always remains vague in the practical details. This person might talk about forever and always, but when it comes to concrete decisions that would affect your life to accommodate their presence, there are always reasons to postpone, wait, or keep things as they are. Sexuality also manifests differently. In true love, physical intimacy is a natural extension of the emotional and spiritual connection. There's presence, reverence, a sacred quality that honors not only pleasure but the vulnerability and trust you're sharing. This person is as interested in satisfying you as they are in being satisfied, and there's open communication about desires, boundaries, and fantasies. When there's only desire disguised as love, sexuality can become performative or one-sided. There's a quality of conquest instead of communion, a need to prove something instead of simply celebrating the connection. This person might be more focused on their own fantasies than the shared reality you're creating together. Experts say that every significant encounter in our lives is an opportunity for karmic healing. Sometimes, a person enters our lives not to stay forever, but to teach us something crucial about our own worth, our patterns, our wounds that need healing. Recognizing this difference between someone who's here to love you and someone who's here to teach you can save years of suffering and confusion. The person who truly loves you is genuinely interested in your spiritual growth. They may not share exactly the same beliefs or practices, but they respect your journey, ask sincere questions about your experiences, and may even participate in some of your spiritual activities out of genuine curiosity, not just to please you. When you're only desired, your spirituality might be seen as strange, excessive, or even threatening. There's superficial tolerance at best, or attempts to steer you away from practices and beliefs that are important to you at worst. Observe how this person reacts when you're going through difficult times, illness, loss, work stress, family crises. True love draws closer during storms, offers practical and emotional support, and remains present even when you're not at your best. There's a loyalty that transcends convenience.
The difference between being loved and being desired.
Without love tends to fall apart during difficulties because the romantic fantasy doesn't include dealing with uncomfortable realities. This person may express sympathy, but they're unwilling to make real sacrifices or invest significant emotional energy to support you through challenging times. How this person talks about their past relationships also offers important clues. Someone capable of true love usually demonstrates maturity when discussing previous relationships. They can acknowledge their own mistakes, express gratitude for lessons learned, and maintain basic respect for people who were part of their journey, even if the relationships ended. With patterns of desire without love, you may notice a tendency to demonize ex-partners, always assume the victim role, or hold on to grudges and resentment that indicate a lack of self-awareness and emotional responsibility. Relationship experts talk about synchronicities as messages from the universe guiding our souls toward necessary experiences. Pay attention to the synchronicities surrounding this relationship. Are you constantly finding signs that validate the connection? Or are you always searching for signs because there's fundamental insecurity about where you stand? In true love, synchronicities flow naturally, You might discover unexpected connections in your histories, find books or movies that perfectly mirror what you've been discussing, or receive confirmations from the universe through other people or situations. There's a sense of cosmic support for the union. When there's only desire, you might find yourself forcing interpretations, desperately searching for signs where none exist, or ignoring obvious red flags because they don't align with what you want to believe about the situation. The quality of missing someone also differs. When someone truly loves you, the longing during temporary separations is sweet and nurturing. You miss this person, but there's a fundamental security in the connection that allows you to live your life fully while they're away. The longing includes joyful anticipation of the next encounter. Desire without love creates an anxious, obsessive longing that interferes with your ability to be present in other areas of your life. There's a constant need for reassurance, status checks, and fear that physical absence means diminishing interest. Finally, notice how you feel about yourself when you're in this relationship. True love makes you feel more like yourself, more connected to your own divine essence, more confident in your inherent worth. You become an expanded version of who you've always been, not an edited version to please someone else. When you're only being desired, you might find yourself constantly questioning yourself, adapting, diminishing yourself, or artificially amplifying yourself. There's a loss of center, a dissociation from your own inner wisdom, and over-reliance on external validation to feel valuable. Relationship experts have taught us that our soul always knows the truth, even when our mind is confused or our heart is hurting. There's an ancestral wisdom within you that recognizes true love when you encounter it, just as it recognizes when you're being offered a colorful imitation that may seem appealing on the surface, but cannot nourish your deepest spiritual thirst. The difference between being loved and being desired isn't just a romantic matter, it's a fundamental spiritual issue that determines whether you're receiving the kind of love your soul chose to experience in this incarnation, or whether you're being distracted by a disguised lesson that needs to be understood and transcended so you can move forward on your evolutionary journey. Trust the wisdom of your soul. It brought you to this moment, to these words, to this understanding for a reason. You deserve to be seen, understood, valued, and loved in your sacred totality, not just desired for fragments of who you are that satisfy someone else's needs or fantasies. The ultimate test requires no complex analysis or interpretation of ambiguous signs. Your heart already knows the answer. The question that echoes through all your incarnations, whispered by your soul in moments of profound silence, is this: when you're with this person, do you feel closer to the truth of who you really are, or further away from it?